Okay. Welcome back to the Classics Comic Corner Classic, known classics. This is episode number 2055 on Doubleshot in 1949. I got two DC trades. One of the collect issues that came out back in the late 50s, early 60s. The other one that came out in the 2000s. Well, first a bit about books from a graphic novel series that is, as of about 4 years ago, no longer being published. Why, you might ask? Don't know why. They replaced it with the those. If you've seen those lately, the whatever character, Golden Age Volume 1 or Silver Age Volume 1 or Bronze Age Volume 1, doesn't matter what the character is. That's what they do now as a replacement for those things. Maybe because basically we're tired of the black and white stuff. Who the heck freaking knows? Alright, we have ourselves Showcase presents Green Lantern Volume 1. Yes, this actually is one of the books I got when I was up in New York. This book contains Showcase number 2224, which is first appearance in the comics, along with the first 17 issues of the Green Lantern comic book. The first issue itself is the debut of these following things. The concept of the Green Lantern, this version, Hal Jordan, Carl Ferris, Ferris Aircraft, Abin Sur, the concept of the Green Lantern Corps. Pretty much anything we know about Hal Jordan, this is basically the debut of it. And of course, well, there was like a runaway missile. And at first, basically, had this whole thing. Occasionally, he would have problems with the color yellow. We also saw debuts of Hector Hammond, the Puppeteer in issue 2. We also saw a debut of Sinestro in these issues. Yes, Sinestro. And I think that was... Oh, yeah. Also, the Guardians of the Universe make debut in these issues. Yep. These issues in here, we have Flash have a team up with... We have Flash team with the Green Lantern, which is so awesome. Yep. Aside from those few things, it's a good Silver Age stuff in here. And here's the thing. It's written by, of course, mostly it's written by John Broome. That's who mostly is the writer. And he has since passed away. This actually was the second character he had a lot of success with. The first character he basically had to do a reboot of the character was The Flash. It was just not long before this point he did it with Gail Kane and Joe Galila on the artwork. So some of the artists basically would be like Murphy Anderson. Yeah. And I think it's Tama Rue, the one who is a Green Lantern who was later revealed to be who in his sector, believe it or not, his sector was the home of Krypton. And yes, he's met Superman, and he has a connection with Superman, which is so awesome. Oh, there's a couple things made debut here in these issues. Central City, Coastal City, which is the home base of Hal Jordan, which made his home for years into the 90s, when was destroyed by Cyborg Superman because his wife was from there. Though it was built in the 2000s. And I'm trying to think what else was made debut in these issues. Of course, the Power Ring, the classic Oath. Basically, we get the early times of the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. I think it's awesome to have my hands on this thing. Now, you might be curious, how many more volumes were this one published? You might be asking. Thinking like, hey Nick, how many more of these ones published? The answer to that is, well... For Green Lantern, there was a total of 5 books that were released. Yep, 5 volumes. Excuse me, the last volume was released, which at the time, that was a sound point for Green Lantern for a couple years before it got moved to a Becca feature for Flash. Would I think of hitting the other 4? I probably will, because I do enjoy reading Green Lantern. Yep. But classic stuff here. Give this book a 10 out of 10. Really good. So I really enjoy getting these books. I haven't got much of the Marvel Essential books in years. And here's a strange fun fact comes between Showcase Presents and Marvel Essential, its sister publication. Marvel Essentials actually stopped a couple years before this did. This ran into 2018. And the last book, official book, which I do own this book, is Showcase Presents Blue Beetle, which collected the 80s run for the Ted Kord character of the Blue Beetle. Written by Lane Wein, and I think the artist is alive. I think the artist who worked on the book is the only one still alive, I think. But it was a damn good book. Alright, next up it is Batman Joker's Asylum. Yes, this is a series of one-shots. 10 one-shots are in this trade here. These one-shots were released back in like 2002. No, actually, no. It was paired from 2008 and 2010 and 2011. Yep, these following one-shots for these following characters. Joker, obviously. Penguin, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Two-Face, the Riddler, Harley Quinn, Mad Hatter, Killer Croc, and Clayface. Some of these I have discussed before. The ones I can tell by looking at them. Let's see. I've discussed Scarecrow, Penguin, Poison Ivy, and I believe Clayface. Mostly, a lot of these one-shots are just a series of stories told from the Joker's perspective about each of these following characters. And these are your writers for these issues. You have Aaron Avid Nelson, Jason Aaron, J.T. Crow, Joe Harris, David Hayne, Peter Calloway, James Patrick, Kevin Surik, Mike Ratchet, and Landry Walker. The artwork in here is done by a lot of artists. Some of whom basically worked with DC on and off over the years. One of the last books that this person worked on was Catwoman. You have Alex Sanchez, Jason Pearson, Gillian March, really good artist this one is. Joe Doe, Juan Doe, Andy Clark, Ryan Ferreras, Joe Kutz, Keith Kiffin, Andreas Galido, Bill Sienkiewicz, David Yarden, Cliff Richards, and Kelly Jones. Now you might be asking, Nick, have you met any people working these one-shots? The answer is no. I never have. I've never anybody who worked in this book. Nope, never have. I would love to. I'm hoping in the future, probably in next year's Mega Con Orlando, my chance for maybe something like Jason Aaron, J.G. Crow. Who knows? Just a really good set of one-shots. If you're a Batman fan, get this book. It's really good. Okay? I give this one roughly a 9 out of 10. Really good. Nothing terrible here. It's just a lot of really good stuff here. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly it for particular review. Next up, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm just going to go ahead and watch the 10 years later film, which is basically for Galandra. Watch next, okay? Next video. Bye.